Hello and welcome to Pursuit of Perfect System. Currently our reference review system is kind of semi-broken down. We're making a few changes and so it seemed like the perfect opportunity to create a video for the Furutech NCF boosters, but a video focusing purely on how I've used them, you know, the different ways that you can use them, and hopefully you can get something out of this video in terms of a few ideas and ways and means that you might be able to put obviously NCF boosters into your system and really get the most out of them. When you look at the products, they are pretty self-explanatory in terms of how you might use them, but again, this video is to throw a few ideas at you and just get you to thinking, because they're extremely versatile products and pretty much the sky's the limit. You can use your imagination and use them in a whole host of different ways, as I have done as part of the review. So I think we should start really with the power side of things, because I think there's really a dual benefit to using the NCF boosters on power connection. When you plug in a power cable into a HiFi component, 99 times out of 100 the cable's going to obviously pull down, and even if you're using a really high quality IEC connector like the Furutech connectors we use, like the FI50s, just the sag and the weight of the cable can pull the overall cable and connector down and we get some sag. When you install the NCF boosters, it's a really simple and easy process. You literally just slide them in underneath the cable, you undo the screws and you raise up kind of the bottom, the base plate, up to it meets obviously the IEC connector, and you can literally just kind of stretch it out and kind of push it up until that connector sits really flat and really true. And what you'll notice then is that actual power connection is much more solid. So not only is it more safe, we've got a much more solid connection between our power cable and our product. And now that's got to be better, let alone safer. And then it's a really simple and easy process. We literally just lower our top plate down on top, and then we use our silicone bands to basically tie the whole thing together. Now what I actually found interesting through doing this process is it's a very, very easy process, and I found using my fingers to push up so that our kind of cup section kind of grips round our IEC. But I almost felt like half the time I didn't have quite as good a connection as I would like. If that is the case for yourself, I would say that is the perfect time to invest in the shaft bar adjusters. Now these are an additional extra that Furutech have literally just released and are selling separately, and I think it's good that they sell them separately, really, because you might not need them at all. But what they allow is just some fine, really fine-tuned adjustment of the height of the, or either of the booster or the booster signals. So in that instance, what I just explained there, you can't quite get a really lovely connection between the bottom of the booster and the IEC connector. You can use these shaft bar adjusters and just raise them up just that little bit, just to get that really tight connection. And actually another way to use the NCF boosters for power is at the other end of the power cable, actually at the plug end. And that is not something I've actually tried, but as you can clearly see, it works exactly the same. And this is probably where the extension shaft bars, the packs of 10 that Furutech sell, are going to really come in handy, because that's going to allow you to raise up our NCF plates much higher. And that's giving the benefits of NCF at the other end of the power cable. Moving on to the NCF booster signals, I feel these are again pretty self-explanatory in how you might use these with speaker cables. Obviously you would use these to raise speaker cables up off the floor. There's something that Furutech stressed to me. They said you need to make sure the speaker cables are not only up off the floor, that they are also off of any racks or touching speakers and stuff like that. We literally lay a speaker cable across our boosters, making sure that it's up off the floor, and that is all pretty easy and pretty standard. Again, using the silicone bands to hold everything in place. Now this again is where the full Furutech range of products really helps out, because using the extension shaft bars to make our NCF booster signals higher off the ground makes the process of keeping the cables off the floor much easier and actually much cheaper, because we can have bigger gaps between the NCF boosters when they're higher up, because there's always going to be some sag in the cables, so we can get away with there being a bit more sag if our boosters are a little bit higher up. But the NCF boosters are not only designed to be used on speaker cables. I actually got some really fantastic results using them elsewhere. I actually use one NCF booster signal across pretty much all the connections going in and out the Cord Electronics Qtist DAC, and I was getting the benefit of the NCF boosters across all of those cables from just one product. An alternative way to be clever with them is to stack the boosters up like I've done here. You can see on the back of the product we're using here, that's actually a Luxman power amplifier. We're able to put balanced connections and analog connections in contact with NCF boosters to get the benefit, but we're only using one plate. And that is what's fantastic now about the full NCF booster range from Furutech, is that they sell the products individually, so we can box clever. So as you can see now, to box really clever, I've combined the power NCF boosters with 2 lots of NCF booster signals. So again, I would say they're just some of the ways that you can use these. Literally, the sky's the limit in terms of thinking of different ways and being creative in how you use them. But it's not about being creative for the sake of it. It's trying to fine tune and find the best way to tune the sound of the system to your preference. And that's exactly what you can do with these boosters. Now, so just a little bit of actual advice. I would suggest a lot of audiophiles, they want to just try these things out and see if they make a difference for themselves. So I would suggest don't just buy one product. I would suggest buying 2. So you need to start out, I would suggest buying at least 2 of the normal NCF boosters, because when it comes to trying out the signals, you're probably going to want to buy a bulk batch so that you are able to fully raise up your speaker cables off the floor, and from there you might want to add extra NCF boosters so you can use them on your signal cables. That would probably be the way I would suggest. So I'd suggest start with the normal NCF booster, start with 2, don't just buy one. Problem with only having one is it's difficult to experiment, because you might put one in, hear a benefit, and then want to try it out somewhere else. But the problem with doing that is you're losing the initial benefit that you've got by installing one. So that's why it's brilliant to have 2 or 3 or more, so that you can install one, leave it where it is, use the next one to try it somewhere else, because these are the sorts of products that are, you know, accumulative in their benefit. And I feel like taking one off somewhere, trying it somewhere else, is not the way to test these. You need to find a good spot initially, keep that in your mind, have that as the baseline, add a second one, and look for the further improvement again. So that would be my advice in terms of starting with the NCF booster. So yeah, again, hope the video's been helpful. I hope it's been interesting. Please make sure to go and visit our website, because there's been a lot of work go into that recently. Don't forget, there's been a couple of videos already that we've done for the NCF boosters, including an A/B demonstration where you can hear just what these are capable of, and they are capable of making a really big improvement. And yeah, actually moving on, we're still in the process of reviewing the NCF boosters. We're moving on to incorporate some more Furutech products in the system, and we're going to see how these products react to them. So make sure you come back for that, and there's loads of other great content on its way, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.